One of the real dangers of a very good meal, for me, is a temptation to overeat. I do love good tasting food. Freemasonry has its own temptations. The countless degrees, offices, titles, and positions of power can be a powerful and highly attractive intoxication for too many. For those who have not attained much personal standing outside of Masonry, what is offered inside of Masonry can be a great opportunity and help in their lives. Masonry can also be a very serious risk if one does not properly understand Masonic teachings. If one in leadership damages his reputation, then not only do they also damage the reputation of Freemasonry, but they put a spotlight on that damage by virtue of their position of leadership. The damage to Freemasonry is far more serious than if the same event was with a Mason who was not in leadership. If one has any degree of leadership within Masonry and then has done something to cause disgrace to themselves and the fraternity, then they need to make amends. They need to recognize the error, whatever it is, own up to it, and face the music. Once we accept any leadership position, we must maintain a good personal reputation as we become even more responsible for the order's reputation than those who are not in leadership. We must all recognize the need to protect the reputation of Freemasonry, but those in leadership have a special responsibility. A problem for leaders is ego. Sometimes if a leader makes a mistake, ego will make him deny the existence of the error and compound the problem. But what are the consequences for one in Masonic leadership turning out to be less than expected and developing a fair and earned bad reputation? For one thing, Freemasonry gets a very bad black eye. We'll be saying to the world that we can and do put the undeserving into positions of leadership. Once that bell is rung, it cannot be unrung. But Freemasonry has far more than one Mason in leadership, present and past. What is the responsibility of other Masonic leaders when one of their own damages the reputation of Freemasonry? How should they act? What should they do? Is this a problem they must deal with, or is it okay to ignore it? Let's look at a situation outside of Freemasonry that may help us. Let's say that you are driving down a street and come to a corner where you stop. You notice 3 of your friends standing there, and they see you. They come running over and ask for a ride. As you are riding, you pass a bank. Your friends ask you to stop and wait for them while they go into the bank to get some cash. You pull over and watch them go inside. Through a large window, you then see something very disturbing. They pull out guns and begin to rob the bank. What do? You think about driving off, but decide to wait for them so you can try to talk some sense into them. They jump into the car and yell for you to drive off. You start to leave, but only get half a block when you are surrounded by police cars. It is clear what's going to happen to them, but what about you? You had no idea what your friends had in mind when you picked them up and then dropped them off at the bank. They didn't say a word to you about their plans. But you did see what they were doing in the bank, and you did wait for them and then drive off in the car. It's very likely that you will be charged with the same crime as them. Leaders in Freemasonry need to be very, very careful in any dealings with other leaders who have done anything at all to harm the reputation of Freemasonry. If you even give the appearance of condoning or excusing bad behavior, then you could be painted with the same brush as them. Non-Masons will rightly see you as participating in activities just as problematic as the other leaders in trouble. If you have accepted any position of leadership and you have received honors for it, then you owe something special to the fraternity. If you allow one of your own to act in any way that brings disgrace to the fraternity, then you will share in the consequences of his actions. Fair or unfair, that is the reality. Freemasonry teaches by symbols. We must understand that the premise of teaching is that there is a teacher and a student. One of the major problems that I have seen in Masonry for too long is that we are so often required to self-teach the important lessons and symbols. In the actual days of teaching Masonry, and I mean the philosophy and symbols, not the ritual, there was always a teacher instructing several students, but those days are gone, at least for now. How do you teach yourself what you don't know? Sometimes it seems that we are in a locked room, and the key to the lock is outside of the room. It is at times like this that we can turn to the teachings of Freemasonry. Masons should help each other. We should work in teams. We should use what's known as the buddy system. In Masonry, it's known as being our brother's keeper, always watching a brother's back when he watches yours. We must honestly and objectively watch each other and help each other. If you see your brother about to slip and do something that will damage his reputation, tell him. He will tell you if you slip. By working together, you can help each other avoid slips or repair damaged reputations. In all things, recognize that Masonry is and always has been a progressive moral science. No one expects you to achieve perfection. It's not possible. Our goal is to always make daily advancements, one step after another. It may not seem like much, but it is harder than you might think. It is also more important than you may think. Thank you for watching. If you enjoy the videos, please hit the like button and subscribe to us. And don't forget to pay a visit to the Cornerstone Book Publishers website for outstanding Masonic education. See you next time.